Hey guys, this week I'm testing the 2017 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. This is the 2.4 liter SEL all-wheel drive version. It has the MyVec dual overhead cam 4-cylinder with the continuously variable transmission, electronic power steering, and all-wheel control. MSRP on this is $25,695. With destination, it's $26,590. I just got this car in earlier today to test and film for Winding Road, but I wanted to give you some first impressions on just kind of what I think about the driving experience and value, and let's take a look in the trunk, see how much space we have in the back here. Nice trunk lid, light, easy to open. Got a full-size spare in the back here. Fold these seats down, you can fit a mountain bike or decent amount of space back here. Back seats, hopefully you guys can see this. Alright, it's getting a little bit dark out, but back seats feel pretty nice. There's an interesting warning sticker here for some reason. Pretty good seating position, nice visibility, a lot of headroom. Enough leg room. Could even move that front passenger seat forward a little bit if you needed to, but considering this is kind of a smaller SUV, it's not too cramped back here. The only thing is it's a little bit awkward to get out. Getting in is fine, but getting out, I feel like I have to move my leg way back, and it's a little bit of a tight fit because there just isn't a lot of room to get out of the car. I believe the proper term for that is egress. Coming around to the front, I think this is a pretty pleasing design. Nothing revolutionary, nothing conflicting here. Rear end kind of short, stops a little bit abruptly, but I think it works. First thing you'll notice on the interior, you got a nice stop-start button to start things up. And you have paddle shifters straight from the Mitsubishi Evo. Pretty cool. Though with a CVT, they're not necessarily very useful. And of course they're stationary, so they stay there as it should be. Reverse camera, lines stay stationary no matter how you turn the wheel. Let's take this thing for a drive. Give you some driving impressions. Test out the turning radius here. Not bad. Is that a Ford GT? That is a Ford GT. There we go. Look at that. There he is. Cool. M plate too. That's awesome. Alright, testing acceleration here. Typical CVT action there, nothing really surprising. The CVT isn't terrible. The only complaint I do have about it is that initial acceleration, when you first press the throttle from a stop, is really abrupt, and you have to be very careful about modulating how much throttle you input. Otherwise you can kind of get kicked in the back of the head by the headrest. No matter how lightly you try to press the accelerator, it always seems to lurch forward just a little bit more than you want. But once you get up to speed, everything seems to perform pretty normally. One observation I made about this car when I first got into it is it is one of the smelliest new cars I've ever been in. And smelly in the sense, you know, that new car smell where you just get brand new plastics and brand new glue and rubber and everything, and it all kind of comes together and it smells new. Well, this has all that, but it's just a little bit off-putting. It's not necessarily a pleasant new car smell. I'm sure that'll fade over time, but for now. It kind of hit me, and I was like, "Whoa, that's a little bit too much." Let's test out these paddle shifters here. One thing that is kind of cool is they do give you a decent amount of deceleration. Of course, this is all simulated with the CVT. And then you just hold the right paddle to go back into drive. No real complaints on the handling front. Steering feel is actually excellent. For an electronic steering rack, this actually feels hydraulic, which is very interesting. You get a little bit of kickback from bumps and road imperfections, and it has a nice, solid weighting to it. Kind of a surprise there. Decent steering feel. And of course, these paddle shifters are metal, which is kind of neat. No complaints from the brake pedal. Everything feels good there. Let's talk about ride a little bit. I think over most road imperfections, ride is actually pretty good. When you hit some bigger bumps, it tends to get a little bit jarring, a little bit stiff. This isn't necessarily a softly sprung or damped car. It's a little bit stiffer than, I would say, the norm, but it has a little bit of more of a sophisticated feel to it. I think if you hit a big pothole, it'll kind of crash over it and you'll get a little bit of shake from the chassis. But generally, from everything that I've been driving on today, it feels pretty good. And here in Michigan, we don't have the best roads. There's a really bumpy section there. That felt nice. There's no float or anything. It's pretty well controlled, and the suspension feels pretty good. I think it's a little bit crashy over really big and abrupt potholes, but otherwise, not bad. It works. Now, MSRP on this car was $26,500, including destination. And I looked online, and you could probably find these for under $20,000, brand new. It has a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. If you're looking for a smaller, compact SUV that kind of still gives you the off-road capabilities of a locking center differential and all-wheel drive, and most of the time this is front-wheel driven, unless if you switch it down here. And it gets decent fuel economy. This might be an interesting option, especially with that warranty. But otherwise, this is kind of this is a pretty dated feeling car, honestly. I think there are a lot of newer offerings that offer a lot more technology and features, and really, this is pretty competitive from a price point. I think you can probably get these for pretty cheaply on the used market with not a lot of miles on it. It's still a warranty, and in which case that might not be a bad idea. A little bit of rattles in the interior, some road noise going over bumps and potholes, a little bit of noise, cabin noise coming in at speed on the highway. Guys, well, I think that about covers it. 2017 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Interesting little SUV. Pull it into a parking space here. And that'll probably wrap things up. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. I do these POV first impression videos on just about everything that I get in to test and film for this channel and for the Winding Road Magazine channel. You can follow what I'm up to on Instagram at thetopher2. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe here to the Topher for more stuff like this and on my personal cars. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully see you in the next video.